What's going on, everyone? So, I'm back. I'm not going to be getting that many videos out, like, daily basis. I'm going to try to get out as many as possible. But anyways, here we go with this video. As you can see on the screen, right in front of you, it's a picture of a head unit. I wanted to get some video footage of this head unit or radio in action, but, yeah, I already have it out of my car. But let's get into the review. Now, right off the bat, I did receive this head unit for a discounted price. I got it for roughly like $30 for review purposes. Just wanted to get that out of there. As you can see on the screen, the normal price is $69.99. It's on sale for $59.99 plus free shipping. It is not fulfilled by Amazon, and I believe it ships from China or wherever. So, that being said, it will take a while to get in, but let's get into it. If you want to know what it looks like hands-on, I did do an unboxing. Check it out. Now, this unit right off the bat is 50 watts, 4 channels, so 4 speakers, 50 watts each. That is maximum watts. That's not RMS. That is maximum watts, 50 watts, which is actually a typical wattage per speaker. Now, this head unit also does not have any kind of disc. No CD player, no DVD, anything like that. This is a media receiver only. Now, as far as the features, it does have built-in Bluetooth with a built-in mic. It also has a USB port. I haven't tried the USB, so I don't know if it'll, even attempt to charge a phone. I assume it would, but I have not tried it. But it does read basically USB drives like thumbsticks, for basically MP3 files as well as video files like MP4, stuff like that for videos. So it will play videos, just not through a DVD or anything like that, or through Bluetooth. It only does audio through Bluetooth, but yes, it does do Bluetooth audio streaming, so you don't need an aux cable with your cell phone. So that is a really nice feature. So let's get into it bit by bit, and we'll go from there. Now, installation, the wiring that it comes with, it works fine, just like a normal head unit. Now, installing it into a vehicle, it has to be ISO mounted. It cannot be mounted with a dash kit. Now, if you look, let me bring this up. If you look on the edges, right where the keys would go, where it basically goes in, these edges are actually wider than a normal head unit. So the problem with that is, in order to get into the dash kit for my car, I couldn't use a cage. It has to be ISO mounted. And for you people that don't know what ISO mounting is where you use screws through the side. You don't use a cage where you just lock it in. You actually have to use screws that screw it into the sides to hold it in. Well, for the dash kit, I couldn't even do that. Just because of how wide the faceplate is, I couldn't slide it in backwards, forward. If I were to put it in backwards, I wasn't able to line up the screws. So what I physically had to do was I actually had to cut these sides off. I used my soldering iron, and I used my soldering iron, and I literally just melted the sides away, and it was still too big because of the height. Now, you can't really cut the top and bottom off. The screen's there. So what I ended up having to do was get it in as far as I could, shove it in, and super glue it into the dash kit because I was determined to make it fit so I could test the thing out. So if you have a dash kit, my car that I used it in is a 2010 Subaru Impreza WRX. So if you have, at least I know this, a 2008 to 2014 Subaru, it will not fit. Like, I had to super glue it and do a bunch of dumb stuff to get it installed. Now, as far as wiring, that was very simple. It wired up, I plugged it in, it worked, it turned on, it did what it was supposed to do. But as far as mounting, it was a huge pain in the ass. It really was. It was a huge pain in the ass. So, to the next feature, we will go with the menu setup. The menu setup was actually very nice. You click the menu, as you can see right on one of the buttons, you can see their menu, and then you use a volume control to scroll to what you need, press the volume in to go into, whatever you want. And the settings, there wasn't much in there, but it was very easy to navigate through everything. As far as the lighting, as you can see, it's purple right here. You can change that to basically whatever color you want. It does have a wide array of lighting options. So I give it a plus on that. Now, as you can see, it has, forward, back, EQ, loud, pause, play, menu, the volume button, the mute button, the call button. So, it has all the buttons you would need for a Bluetooth aftermarket head unit. It does come with a remote. The remote does have a lot of features on it. I never really got into remotes. I did use a remote, every once in a while with my older cars if the radio placement was kind of wonky, it would make it easier. But for the most part, it's more of a pain in the ass. Okay, the next portion, huge thing, audio quality. Now, as far as clarity goes, the clarity I was actually impressed with. The highs and the mids sounded actually wonderful. It did not clip, it didn't do anything like that. I turned it all the way up and it sounded pretty clear for me, for my speakers. Minus the fact if you have subs. Now, I am actually using a factory head unit in my car. I'm using the factory radio, and in order to get subs on your factory head unit, you use a line-out converter, which I have one installed in my car, and it sounds beautiful in my car. But I used the line-out converter with this, and the subs didn't sound right. So, I unhooked my RCAs from the line-out converter. I plugged them directly into this head unit. Let me tell you, the bass is awful. Yeah, it's just god-awful. It really is. The only way it has the spot for, RCAs. Now, it doesn't have any way to adjust sub volume. Only bass and treble. That's it. So if you want your subs to be louder, you got to turn your bass up. Which means you're turning your bass up on your speakers. Which means it's going to sound like shit. Alright, so as far as that, if you have subs, this is not going to sound good. The quality was just awful. It really was. Let's get into the Bluetooth features. Because that is a main feature for this head unit, is the Bluetooth. So, does it connect to a phone? Yes, it does. It was very easy to sync up my phone. I had no issue syncing my phone. And when your phone's synced, you can, even on the YouTube app, you have music playing through YouTube, you can hit the next button on the radio and it will go to the next video. So that is very nice. Now, the music streaming, very simple, very easy. Not really going to knock it for that. But after the initial hookup, it all depends on how you get in your car. If you have a remote start, your radio will turn on for most cases. So if the radio is already on and your phone's not in the car, so it doesn't connect to it, and then you walk up to the car, it does not automatically connect to it. You have to physically go into your phone and manually connect to it every single time. Now, if you're in the car with your phone in the car and then you start your car, if your phone is by the radio or in your car, when the radio turns on, it will automatically connect. But if you walk away from your car and then walk back, you're going to have to manually connect it again. It will not auto connect. That is kind of an annoyance for really anybody that will use the Bluetooth. Now, the Bluetooth phone option, the sound quality is really nice for them coming through the speakers. For the mic quality is garbage. I physically didn't hear it, but I called my wife, and every single second I talked, it was just awful. Even when I was sitting still, I wasn't driving, and it was just straight static. And yeah, it was awful. If you think about it, the mic is built into the head unit, and it's, you know, it's just a tiny pinhole. There's not going to be any quality there. It doesn't even get the job done. I don't know why my screen just went off. That's really weird. But I'm going to continue this video because you know what? Screw it.
Oh, Google did that to me earlier, remember?
Oh, I'm back. I'm back. Somewhat. I don't know what's going on. It's still black on that screen, but I'm still continuing. Okay. So, I don't think there's much else to say about it. You know, it's really tiny, really light. It is not touchscreen. The screen doesn't look bad. It is really nice. But it is flimsy. It is a very fragile screen. Overall, would I recommend it to anybody? For that price, no. For the $60, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Unless you want something... unless you're buying a gag gift for somebody and you have money to burn, yeah. I guess it would work as a gag gift. Because this thing's pretty friggin' garbage. Not gonna lie. I don't recommend this to anybody. It's awful. Getting it mounted is a pain in the ass. In all reality, the Bluetooth, if you walk away from your car, then walk back or use a remote start, it's a hassle. If you have subs, it's going to sound like garbage. Is there really anything else to say? It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Unless you hate yourself. But there's always ways to love yourself. Scratch that. I don't know what else to say. I've lost my mind. This head unit did not help that fact. Because this thing is awful. Don't do it to yourself. Love yourself. Have a good one.
Looks like you made it to the end of the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to throw a comment down below. And around my face will be some other videos you can watch. Have a good one.